Hi guys, welcome back to the Fitness Fix Montreal. My name is Patrick Gravel. Welcome to my studio. We're going to do part 2 today of the very important presentation today, Introduction to Bodybuilding. And this is the science of respiration. So where did I get all this great information? Actually, this is pretty easy. Let me show you guys. Heavy Breathing, the Science and Practice of Respiration During Resistance Training by Dan Hellman. I come from the Czech Institute. I've been doing videos for a very long time. I've done videos with Watch Mojo. I've been also interviewed on CGAD, answering questions with Merv William. And now I've got my own little channel. It's called the Stretching Samurai Network. So I hope that if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because we're going to bring you a lot of great content. So very important, we're going to start by flexion and extension. Okay? When it is time to breathe. Of course, if you're doing a bicep curl, any extension, you breathe in. Any flexion, you breathe out. So when we start in terms of breathing, we start in a fetal position, right? Now, when we open from that fetal position, this is called inhaling. We have axial loading. We have the spine erecting. Okay? This is where we inhale. And when we come back to that fetal position, this is called exhaling. So if you're going to do a bicep, it's only normal that if you do an extension, you're going to breathe in, exhale. If you're going to do a tricep push down, you're going to inhale, exhale. Now, this is a great example. It applies to any flexion and extension in the body. If I flex forward, I'm doing an ab crunch. I'm going to be flexing, I'm going to be exhaling. If I'm doing an extension, I'm going to be inhaling. Okay? So flexion, extension, it's our basic movement. It's a, we call it a sagittal plane of motion for all you trainers out there. But you need to understand, in a sagittal plane, when we extend our body, we inhale. When we flex our body, we exhale. Now, let's look at the frontal plane, right? So when we're doing lateral raise, hip abduction, hip adduction, anything that's away from the midline, we're going to inhale. Everything coming close to the midline, we're going to exhale. And this applies again to all movements in the frontal plane, right? And finally, we're going to look at transverse planes of motion, and this is actually pretty easy. If we go away from the midline, we're going to breathe in. If we come closer to the midline, we're going to exhale. So if we're doing a fly, we're going to breathe in, and we're going to exhale. Same thing if we're going to do a rear delt raise. We're going to breathe in, and we're going to exhale. So basically, these are simple rules to follow, how to get maximum contraction on any given part in the body. Next time you're doing a motion, ask yourself, is this an extension? Is this a flexion? Am I going away from the midline? Am I going closer to midline? Now, if you want more info, you can always grab Dan Hellman's CD. It's an amazing CD. It gives everything in detail. But it's very important to understand that with the wrong breathing, you get the wrong results. And what do we need? We need to gain some size. You're in the gym. You don't want to lose your time. So learn to assess and then apply what I'm teaching to you today. Okay? Exhale and exertion is something that's mostly applied when we go from an 80% 1 rep max to 100% 1 rep max. Okay? You cannot follow this rule if it's too heavy. This is the last thing you want to do and how you're going to get injury. But if you're doing a 60 to 70%, a normal hypertrophy 1 by Tudor Bompa standard rate, this is a great rule to follow. So guys, I hope that you know a little bit more about the science of respiration and how you can apply it to bodybuilding to get maximum results. Try it tonight. Look at the motion. Am I going away from the midline? Am I coming close? Am I flexing? Am I extending? And then apply, and you will see it's night and day on contraction. Because what you need is a bigger contraction Bigger contraction, bigger muscle, guys. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of Introduction to Bodybuilding. Next time, we're going to look at rep ranges and time under tension. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. This is Patrick Gravel. Always a pleasure to serve you. Ciao, guys.